welcome on behalf of Ops for Vet and Southwest Veterans Business Resource Center. My name is Larinas, co-owner of California 5-Star Coffee, located in the heart of Oakland. I'm just like you, a fellow veteran with 21 years of military service, a DVBE, and I will be your host for today. Again, welcome and thank you for having skin in the game. All webinars will be distributed through our website, which is on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our channel at Ops for Vets YouTube channel. Today's webinar series is part 3 of 3, Learn about State of California Contracts. The state of California is the 5th largest economy in the world, and last year, they purchased over 10 billion worth of goods and services. Please get registered as a small business and or DVBE. Learn how easy it is to get certified and start earning some money from the state. So guys, if you have not gotten certified or registered, today is the day. So right now, this is the last part of our series. So please get help, get certified, get registered, because November 16, you guys, is our one-on-one meeting. You get to meet all our procurement officers. You get to meet everybody in person finally, okay? Now it's already July. Time is gonna creep up on you. So let's get together. Let's help each other. If you don't know anybody yet, if you don't know who needs help or somebody, please let us know today, okay? We have Mr. Wayne Gross today. We have some other procurement officers gonna be online with us today. So let us know. I'm sorry about that. It's supposed to be everybody's muted, but again, through this platform, through Zoom classes, we can help every veteran business owners to get certified to do business with the government, state and federal at no cost to you. We held classes since March, April, May, June, July. If you missed any of them, go to your Ops for Vet YouTube and you can go back, okay, and view every single one of them. So that's why we ask you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can view. I'm sorry about that.
Be careful because you'll destroy your damn toy. Yeah, he's like,
let me mute.
Especially if he has a squeaker.
Okay. Supposed to be muted already, so I'm so sorry. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, so like I said, if you've already established your business, use this platform, use the Ops for Vet, the Southwest Business Resource Center, advertise your business, you guys. Make the government look for you. Make the procurement officers seize you, okay? Stand out. Contact Ops for Vet or drop your information on the chat line, and we will send you the information you need, okay? Wayne is gonna be our guest speaker today. As everybody already knows him, this is the 3rd series of, he started it in March, and I think the other one was in June or May or something like that. And then today is the 3rd series. Mr. Wayne, as everybody already know, has 45 years of customer service skills, is starting from his early days as U.S. Air Force captain. Now, Mr. Wayne currently serves as a customer liaison and SB and DVBE advocate for the state of California Department of General Services, Procurement Division Certification and Outreach Branch. In his role, he educates the business community and ensures that small business and DVBE businesses can access their share of state contracts. So you guys, if you're not certified yet, or if you want to know anything about doing business with the state of California, he is the guy for you. So without further ado, Mr. Wayne, take it away.
Okay. Thank you, Jennifer. Again, my name is Wayne Gross. I'm a business outreach liaison with the Department of General Services. There is my email wayne.gross@dgs.ca.gov. And there is my phone number, 916-230-4417. And I've been doing this for 13 years. I think I know what I'm talking about. The only dumb question is the one that you don't ask. And so, you know, I guarantee that that question is not going to happen during my work hours of Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's going to be on a Monday night. You're going to be sitting there with your spouse watching Dancing with the Stars, and you got that question. Email me, text me, call me, okay? The only dumb question is the one you don't ask. And don't be surprised if you actually get a response from me. And if it's too detailed, I'll say, hey, call me tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. It's as simple as that. So we're going to be talking about government contracting. And we're going to be talking about the preference and incentives, how the state buys, finding and receiving solicitations, leverage procurement agreements, commercially useful function, very important. We're going to show you where the dashboards are, whatever those are. And then we're going to talk about contract readiness, common mistakes that you as a small business or DVBE, when you give a quotes. And then I'm going to talk about some tips for success and resources. So the first is the small business preference. It is a 5% bid preference. It is on competitive solicitations with few exceptions, and it's not applicable when we're using the small business DVBE option, which I'll explain here in a minute. And so in my example, bidder A, who's not certified, bids $100,000. Bidder B is certified, and they bid 102. Generally speaking, the lower bid should win 100,000. However, in the solicitation, they say that there will be a 5% bid preference. And so as the administrator, I take 5% of the lowest non-certified bid. The 5% of 100,000 is 5,000. I take that 5,000 and subtract it from the lowest certified bid. 102 minus 5 is 97. And so bidder A bids 100, bidder B, who's adjusted now, is 97, and they win. And so the good news is they get the contract for the original 102,000. It pays to get certified. And as Jennifer said, it's all free. You can't beat the cost. If you happen to be a DVBE, all DVBE incentives are on all competitive solicitations. And it can be from 0 up to 5%, depending on the solicitation. I always tell everyone that if you are a DVBE and you see a solicitation out there that has the DVBE waived, contact the administrator and say, find out why it was waived. So how the state buys. There are contracts exempt from advertising, fair and reasonable, less than $10,000, the small business DVBE option, and emergency purchases. We have leverage procurement agreements, LPAs, CMAS, California Multiple Award Schedule, master service agreements, cooperatives, software licensing agreements, and statewide agreements. There's the request for information, an RFI. There's an invitation for bid, an IFB. There's a request for proposal, an RFP, and a request for quotation, an RFQ. And we'll be going over all of these. So fair and reasonable, less than $10,000. Okay, it's for non-IT goods and IT goods and services, and it's commonly used for minor procurements on a short timeline. The buyer only has to get one quote, and there are a variety of methods buyers use to determine a fair and reasonable price. It could be past performance. We bought that last year and this is what it cost. So, you go into the database, find someone and say, hey, I need a quote for this. If it's reasonable, you got it. We have here the small business DVB option in blue, and then the first policy in red. So the small business DVB option is for goods and services and IT goods and services from 5,000 and a penny up to 250,000 minus a penny. And for public works, 5,000 and a penny up to 333,000. The buyer has to get at least 2 small businesses or 2 DVBEs. You need a minimum of 2, and you can't mix the certifications. But I tell DVBEs that if you qualify for the small business certification, get them both. Because in this case with the option, if I'm looking for small businesses, you're in that arena. If I'm looking for DVBEs, you're in that arena, okay? 6 years ago, our director said that this option was a bunch of bunk, being because they have people like me out there trying to get people like you certified. And so we came up with the first policy. Here again, it's for certified small businesses and DVBEs, but for goods, services, and IT goods and services, we took that 5,000 and a penny down to 0. Up to 250,000 minus a penny, and public works 0 to 333,000. Again, we need a minimum of 2 quotes, small businesses or 2 DVBEs, but it's mandatory with the first policy. We have to go to the database. We don't have an option. And so when we go to the advocate list, which I'll show you, these are the first policy agencies, and these are the ones who are required come to you first. They're all in yellow, and there's one, it's called the military department. The previous ones have a written policy. The military department doesn't have to have a written policy because the general in charge says, you will go to the database first. He's giving them a direct order. So it's a win-win if you're a disabled veteran. Contracts exempt from advertising are emergency purchases. We have 2 things going on right now. The one's COVID and the other is our fires. And unfortunately, we did not meet our small business goal. We only got 23% of the 25 because of those 2 incidents. And it looks like the fires are really, taking over Northern California right now, as well as the variant on COVID. And so what my department is doing is coming up with a listing of emergency agents, small businesses and DVBEs who can handle emergency situations. And this information will be out in October. And so if you haven't heard anything by the 15th of October, please email me and I will find out what's going on. And again, my email address is wayne.gross@dgs.ca.gov. And an emergency, what constitutes an emergency? It's a sudden, unexpected occurrence that poses a clear and imminent danger, requiring immediate action to prevent or mitigate the loss or impairment of life, health, property, or essential public services. And I think you can see that the COVID virus and the fires definitely meet the emergency purchase. So this is our website, alleyprocure.ca.gov. And I'm going to show you 2 things. One is where our active solicitations are. and our completed solicitations. So it gives you an idea of what, whatever you're trying to sell, you can look it up and see what agencies have bought it and for how much. So we click on quick links. The first option says find bid opportunities, the CSCR, the California State Contracts Register. And this is the search engine, and you can search 3 ways. Number 1, by event name, that's paint, concrete, that kind of thing. Event ID, if you happen to know what the ID number is, or the department. And you'll notice to the right, there are 3 black lines. And when you click that, you get the list. And unfortunately, this list is numeric. It is not alphabetic. And so if you're looking for Department of Transportation, that's Caltrans, you're gonna have to go down to Department of Transportation. And so once you find it, then you click on it. And I'm putting in this event number, 18442. I hit search, and excuse me, and here is the results. And I'm gonna click on it and open it up. And this is what a solicitation looks like. Make sure that you are logged in so that you can see all the details. On the left side, it gives you the ID, it tells you when it was posted. In the middle, it has the end date. In this example, it's February 15th, 2021 at exactly 2 p.m. Now, this is a sidebar, but if for some reason you can't get this information to the the contractor here, I'm going to call Bob up and say, hey, Bob, I can't get this information to you. Can I fax it to you? And he goes, yeah, no problem. And he gives me his fax number. But here's the loaded question. I start the fax at 5 minutes to 2. It ends at 2 after. Is that a valid quote? No, it's not. Okay, because it's not when the fax begins, it's when it ends. So kind of put that in the back of your memories, not to shortchange yourself with all of your work and then get it rejected because you couldn't meet the cutoff time date. On the third column, it says view event package, post a vendor ad, view vendor ads, and you can place an ad for free if you're certified. The contact information, it gives the administrator of this solicitation. He has actually put the phone number on there. Normally, they don't do that. And of course, the email. And the reason I say they normally don't do that is because, case in point, I email Mr. Fisher and tell him that there's something wrong with this solicitation. He emails me back and says, yes, you're absolutely right, Wayne, and I'm going to change it. But guess what? He doesn't change it. So it gets awarded to someone. And so I protest it, okay? And so we're in front of a judge and the judge says, what's going on? And I say, this was wrong on the solicitation. And Mr. Fisher said, yes, he agreed with it, but he never changed anything and awarded it. And, the judge says, Mr. Fisher, is that right? And he goes, yeah, unfortunately, I forgot about it. I got too busy. Anyway, the judge says to me, do you have proof of this? And I said, you mean this email? And so if everything was just done by the phone, it wouldn't count. But by emailing Mr. Fisher and getting it in writing and his response in writing, I won. And so that he had to rebid it with the new information. And I actually won the contract.
Turn right.
Yeah. And so the next thing is the pre-bid conference. Caltrans is excellent in having mandatory pre-bid conferences. And I say that because Caltrans projects are 10, 20, $30 million projects, and they have mandatory small business and DVB participation. And so you go to it, the primes have to sign in. If they don't sign in, they can't bid on the solicitation. And so what happens is Caltrans has a presentation that they have, some Q&A, and then they tell the primes to go to their respective table. And this is where you, as a small business / DVBE, can go up with your capability statement, that's your resume, and present yourself and introduce yourself and tell them how you can contribute to the small business and or DVB participation. My next slide shows the attachments. And in this case, there are 12 attachments. And you want to make sure that you download all 12. Make sure you understand everything. This is the page for the ad. And the KISS principle is alive and well here. KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Okay? Your name, your email, your phone number, you give it a title, and the response deadline, and the description. Very simple. Okay, on the description, you are given 2,000 characters, not words, but characters. When you start typing, it goes 1999, 98, 97. So I always lead with my supplier ID number. And you're doing that for a couple reasons. Number one, when the prime looks at that, they're gonna pull up your profile and see if you're current. Okay, and then they're gonna say, oh, let's see, he builds fences. And my profile says that I build fences. So it all is connected. And the last part on the solicitation is the UNSPSC classification. And on this one, it is for freight fee and the 8-digit code. And the reason that I got this solicitation is because my notifications page on my Cali Procure profile had that 8-digit code. You'll notice that if I had a license type, that would work, and the service area. This is, they didn't specify if there was any. Service areas meaning counties. So now we're going to go back to caliprocure.ca.gov. We're going to click quick links again, and this time we're going to click the fourth one, find past purchases, skippers. And so this is the search engine, and you can do a search 2 ways. The first way is in the upper right-hand corner, description. You put in concrete, whatever you're looking for. The other way is the advanced search criteria. And we load the UNSPSC section, and you put in the code, put in the check mark on the left, and hit search, just like that. And you get this giant Excel spreadsheet. And this is really nice. And it usually takes a couple minutes for it to present the Excel spreadsheet, because it's going all the way back through December 2015, almost 6 years worth of information. And on this Excel spreadsheet, the first column is the department. Who owns this solicitation? The second is the purchase order, okay? It's vital if you want to get the original solicitation. The fourth column has the first item, tells you, what's on there. And then it has start date, end date, and then the grand total. And then it's got, whoever was awarded the contract, their ID and their supplier name. As you go across, it gives you how the solicitation was posted. Was it informal, competitive, the small business option, fair and reasonable, all different ways. And then the last, the fourth column from the right gives you the buyer's name and their email. And so out of respect for the advocate, because I'm giving you privileged information here, you are not supposed to be talking to buyers. You should be talking to the advocates of the different departments. But for example, you have Michelle Ramos Brown, who is from CDCR. So if I had a question for Michelle, I would send it obviously to her email. Plus I would do a CC to the advocate for CDCR, who happens to be Nina Martinez. And so out of respect for Nina, as well as Michelle, you're getting two for the price of one. Obviously, you're going to ask your question for Michelle, but Nina, who is the advocate for all of the state prisons, can actually add more value. You may know more about different solicitations that you may be looking for, because Michelle was only doing this one contract. So out of respect, always include the advocate. Next are our leverage procurements. The first one is the California Multiple Awards Program. Then we have NASPO, National Association of State Procurement Officials. We have the Master Service Agreements, that's MSA.
Mr. Wayne, we have a few questions.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. We'll stop here.
Before you keep
That's
going.
fine. Okay.
So the first one is requested paperwork. Is it the same for only one bid?
Well, each bid's different. You know, are we talking a $1 million contract or a $25 million contract? You know, different requirements, different paperwork.
Right, okay. Second one is SCO the division that oversees payment for everybody?
Oh, geez. Yes, for payment for, that's the state controller, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think somebody's muted, unmuted. So I'm trying to find. The other question, we have a few more, I'm sorry. So for everybody who's asking, this recording will be sent out. Like I said in the beginning, all these recordings will be sent out to our YouTube channel. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel on Ops for Vet. And I will remind everybody again in the end. Our next is, how do we get our products listed on the emergency list for fire
I
and
have
COVID?
no idea. That's why the program is supposed to be completed by October. And that's why I said that if you haven't heard anything by the 15th of October, to email me, and I will go in and kick butt and take names of my coworkers who are in charge of the program and find out for you. But it should be, you know, going statewide. So, yeah, you should be hearing something.
Okay, and last, or a few, actually, there's two more. What about divisions that pull the advocate from the list?
I'm sorry, say again?
What about divisions that pull the advocate from the list?
I'm going to show you where the advocate list is. So it'll have all their information that you need to contact them.
Okay, and last is, what about protesting late payments, say 8 weeks to 3 months?
Okay. Okay, this is for small businesses only, not DVBEs. This is another reason if you can be certified both, get them. You contact the administrator of the contract in question. If you're not getting any help there, that's where you call your best friend the advocate for that department, and they will help you get it resolved. Because anything over 45 days, a late payment should automatically be added to your, if it's a $10,000 check and it's on the 60th day, you should get 15 days of late payment added.
Okay, and one last thing, it says small business advocate was removed from the SCPR list or CDCR.
Okay. So what you want to call is Nina Martinez. That's Nina.Martinez, MARTINEZ at cdcr.ca.gov.
And actually, Jessie, Nina is actually on this call.
Yes, she is.
So you can even send her a chat message on this. Okay, Nina, please reach out to Jessie.
Yes.
That's the best thing about being on this webinar, you guys.
That's right. We are
You can
full
actually
service.
reach out while we're on this webinar.
That's right. We are full service here.
And
Is that it, Jen?
that's it. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Okay, before I was rudely interrupted with these questions. Let's see, we talked about listing the MSA, Master Service Agreements, the statewide commodity contracts, the state price schedules, the SPSs, and the software licensing program, the SLPs. CMAS is the best thing since the creation of cottage cheese. What I mean by that is, if you have heard of the GSA, General Services Administration, that is the federal program. And that's how federal agencies buy, and they usually buy in bulk. Their application is 90 pages long and can take up to 2 years to get approved. Our CMAS, our California Multiple Award Schedule, is 5 pages and takes up to 45 days. Now, here's the gotcha about our program. Our program says that you have to have a GSA schedule. It doesn't say it has to be your own. And so what happens is someone gets their GSA schedule approved, it goes into a public electronic library. Our people at CMAS will help you find the perfect match. That's their job. They will show you where the library is and walk you through the whole procedure. They will spoon feed you. And so please write this number down, 916-375-4363 or 4365. Again, 916-375-4363 or 4365. And you tell them that Wayne sent you, tell them what you do, and if you qualify. There are a couple exceptions. The biggest one is if you are in construction, don't waste your time. Bottom line, if you're in construction. And the nice thing is with CMAS, if I'm a buyer, I'm a small business, the agency that's looking to buy, my goods and services, they have to get 3 quotes. That's it. And all your stuff is already in your CMAS contract. And if you're the only one that responds back, there you go, you get it. Okay. Now, CMAS is a good for state agencies, cities, counties, school districts, community colleges, the UC and the CSU systems. And so if you qualify for a CMAS, get it, okay? I tell the story, a dear friend of mine retired from Sacramento City Department. The last 5 years, he was a CPR instructor. And so he trained all of the police force in Sacramento and the corresponding counties. He did CHP. Anyway, he retired as a small business and disabled veteran. And I told him about the CMAS. And so I didn't see him for a couple years. Anyway, so here I am in Sacramento and I'm at an event. I'm talking to someone and I'm sitting at my chair, and Mike, the person in question, comes up behind me. This man is 6'7", a giant of a man. You can only imagine what he looked like when he was out on patrol in his garb, you know, the vest and everything, just a monster of a man. Anyway, so he's growling at me, right, for dramatic effect. And the person that I was talking to, her eyes went from mine up behind me, right? Anyway, so I turn around and I see Mike, and he goes, "I'm PO'd at you." And I said, "Hold that thought." So I complete my thought with the lady I was talking to. Mike comes around and I said, "Hi, it's nice to see you. It's been a while." And he goes, "You know that CMAS contract you got me involved in?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I've had to turn away business." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry that you're getting so much business." And he laughed, and he said, "I'm retired. I only wanted to work 1 or 2 days." He had the right service that, people wanted. Plus, as a retired a Sacramento police officer, he knew the people, that he was training. So it's not what you know, it's who you know. So take a look at it. If you qualify, you call that number, again, 916-375-4363 or 4365. Tell them Wayne sent you and ask if you qualify. If you qualify, they will walk you through the whole process. If not, they will tell you that, no, you don't. So, move on. And on here, you'll see the CMAS at dgs.ca.gov. If you have questions, you can ask. The next is the Master Service Agreement. And these are contracts for services that are competitively bid and are available to any agency that accepts public funds. These types of agreements establish a pre-qualified list of vendors and simplify the purchasing process for the end user. And here are the non-IT master service agreements right now. This is a list of them. And IT master service agreements, they're competitive bids up to $1.5 million per order. It's pre-qualified list of vendors and must commit to hourly rates equal to or lower than the lowest hourly rate. And applicants must accept the state's IT terms and conditions. The state may enter into negotiation process with vendors successful in solicitation requirements. Current agreements include credit monitoring and identity theft services, electronic information library services, IT consulting, and IT negotiating consulting services. Interested applicants, the process is only open until April of this year. But what you want to do is you want to contact our people at 916-375-4363 or 4365, either number, and get more details. They may have exceptions to this April 20th, or they may say it'll be opened April 20th of 2021 or 2022 rather. So, okay. NASPO, it's cooperative agreements allowing government entities to buy directly from suppliers through existing contracts and agreements. And interested suppliers must contact the prime contractor. And here again, our universal numbers, 375-4363 or 4365. Either one, you talk to those people about cooperative agreements and they will get you to the right staff member. Software licensing program. This is instant software discounts negotiated with major software that are then.
Mr. Albert, I mean Albert. Mr. Wayne,
Yeah.
can you go back a couple more slide?
That's it.
Oh, you went all the way back.
Well, you told me, you didn't tell me how far back.
Two.
Where do you want me to go?
Okay, you can click on it like one by one until you get back.
Here's master, non-IT master, IT master agreements,
Stop. Oh,
NASPO.
two.
Hmm?
You can go back two.
Okay.
Is that what you need? No, okay, one more. One more.
It's CMAS. I'm gonna show you, I've got a handout that explains all this, which is really nice, so you can have it. Okay? That okay, Jen, if I keep on going?
Yes, 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 go ahead.
Okay, so we were talking, okay, the software licensing. Major that are then passed on to the SLP with authorized participating resellers. And it's a $2 million threshold, and there are exemptions for opportunities over 2 million. The SLP program contracts include SLP publishers, Microsoft Enterprise Licensing Agreements, and here is the link that you can go to. And here again is that golden number, 916-375-4363 or 4365. Statewide commodity contracts. These are reduce the need for individual departments to conduct repetitive bids for similar products, and many have green standards. These contracts are only for products, not services, and are developed based on the business needs of the state of California through a competitive bidding process. It's usually mandatory. Off-ramps may be offered. That means that you can use a small business or a DVBE. It's multi-year and may be multi-vendor, and it may include ancillary services. And here again, on this one, you want to contact Mark Anderson, 916-375-5955, or his email, mark.anderson@dgs.ca.gov. mark.anderson@dgs.ca.gov. And for more information, here is our website, http://www.dgs.ca.gov/PD/programs/leveraged.asp. So I said that I had a handout for you. If you go to Cali Procure and scroll down to find training and resources, you go to the fourth heading, the second a bullet acquisition methods flyer. And this is what the 2-page looks like. Here's the first page, and it talks about the exemption, they're unreasonable, and the option. And then it talks about the LPAs, statewide contract, CMAS, the software licensing, cooperative agreements, master agreements. And then it talks about the next thing that I want to talk about, which is the different acquisition methods. The first one is the RFQ, request for quotation, right? Used most commonly for informal competitive solicitations, lists what is needed by the item, quantity, and price. And the threshold is from 0, generally up to $100,000. The RFI, request for information. This is to survey the marketplace. We really don't know what's going on, and so we ask you for the information that we need. You know, how much is it going to cost? Things like that, okay? And then it's also referred to as a request for interest. And then you have the IFB, invitation for bid. It's used to obtain simple, common, or routine services, non-IT goods exceeding 100,000, awarded to the low bidder. No discussions or negotiations. Price is key, and the small business and preference and the SBDVBE incentive is applied here. And then finally, the RFP, request for proposal, used to obtain complex services in which professional expertise is needed, more rigorous evaluation of bidder qualifications. They're awarded based on weighted criteria identified in the bid package. And it is awarded by lowest cost and or best value, okay? So you may not win it because you're the lowest bid, because you can't give us the product until, let's say, the beginning of the month, and we need it by this Friday. That's best value. And it's formally advertised on Cali Procure. Next is commercially useful function, CUF, okay? This is for everyone involved in a bid, okay? Contractors, subcontractors, suppliers of goods and services, bidding on, participating in a state contract, regardless of the procurement approach or the payment method. They must perform CUF. You must execute a distinct element of the work, perform, manage, or supervise the work, perform work that is normal for the firm's businesses, services, and functions, negotiating price, determining quality and quantity, ordering, installing, and making payment, not subcontracting a portion of the work greater than expected by industry practices. So we're now going to talk about dashboards. And if you go to our website, dgs.ca.gov, and put in the search engine dashboard, you will get these results. And the second one says statewide procurement data dashboards. And we have 6 of them. And you can go in, and the bottom left one I have here, the top 10 department spends, okay? Or you want to compare small business and DVBEs, whatever, it's all here that you can take a look and see what's going on. You know, spending by UNSPSC codes, by the department, and vendor details. It's all there for your help. So is there any questions on this stuff before I go on?
No.
Okay. So are you ready to do contracts? Does the project fit your core business strategy? Are you ideally positioned to respond? Do you understand your client's goals, issues, and biases? Do you have the financial capability? Can you deliver on the contract? Do you meet the client's requirements? What type of contract is it? Different contract types carry different levels of risk for the buyer and the seller. Determine your eligibility. Can you meet the evaluation criteria? Past performance, required experience and skill sets, production capability. Use your resources, the Small Business Administration, the SBA, the Procurement Technical Assistance Center, that's the PTACs, and the Small Business Development Center, the SBDC. They're all there to help you. Okay, these are the common mistakes. And the first one is probably the most trite and is the most forgotten. Sign all the documents. You saw in my example of that solicitation that had 12 PDF forms. Probably 7 of them required your signature. So make sure that you sign everything. Get someone else in your office to validate that all the signatures are where they need to be. Forgetting to return all requested documentation or forms. This includes documents that you don't do, okay, but you have to sign off on, okay? Not responding by the deadline. My example of 2 p.m. on such and such a date, okay? Every solicitation has a cutoff date and time. It doesn't matter if it's federal, state, or local. Ignoring historic information available for pricing. Incorrect calculations, tax rate on documents, leaving out required permits, licenses, and bonding, substituting items without the consent of the issuing department, not following our directions on the solicitation, not filling out recycled content form, and submitting cost proposal in same package as technical requirements. Okay, here are the challenges: the terms and conditions, making sure that everything's updated, the procurement modernization efforts, increased security needs, large-scale IT projects, transition from legacy systems. Tips: keep your small business DBB profile information up to date to ensure you receive important information. You're certified to perform the category of work. Don't miss out on an opportunity because you let your certification lapse. Understand what commercially useful function means and how it applies to the solicitation. CUF is evaluated at the minute we receive the bid. Okay, bidder may request about CUF, okay? And CUF is reviewed 3 times: at the beginning of the bid, during the bid, and at the end. So make sure that in your profile, if you say you can do it, you better be able to do it. Ask questions early on. Don't wait until the last minute or after the bid due date closes, right? Make sure that you are properly licensed and insured, especially in construction. Usually the minimum is 1 million, I believe. Read the entire bid. Note mandatory requirements, specifications, delivery requirements, locations. Note the specific date and time the bid is due. Make sure you have funding available to provide goods and services, and be prepared to wait 45 days for payment. Not 30 days, but 45. Check and double check your math for your unit prices and total prices. Electronic bidding may be required. Pay close attention to the general and special provisions. Verify information that appears in more than one location is consistent. If the bid includes a response checklist, use it. It's there to help you. If your business secures a state contract, you are legally bound to deliver as promised. Many contracts do not pay until the job is completed. For example, lump sum means that the invoice will be paid after the project or phase is completed. Here are our resources for Cali Procure, our outreach section for webinars, reciprocity, and PowerPoints. Here is the SBA's website. SCORE. SCORE is a group of retired professionals who can help you. They can be mentors and help you along in your process. We have the Small Business Development Centers. We have the Procurement Technical Assistance Centers, the PTACs. And now, here is our website at caliprocure.ca.gov. You'll notice here that we've got 4 things how to do: sell to the state, find public procurement information, get certified. If you're not certified, you click on that and it'll take you to where you need to go. And finally, find training and resources. This is our training and resources page. There are 6 headings. We're going to be talking about research and marketing. And the second bullet, find a small business and DVB advocate. I also want you to know that underneath is our calendar of events, and it gives you all the information you need to register and see what's coming up. So when you click on the second bullet, it tells you to go to this directory, and it says download the advocate directory. And here it is. And remember, I said that there were 11 agencies that are highlighted in yellow, and these are the they're highlighted here just for you to remember. You'll notice that on column C is construction. If you are in the construction field, the only people you need to contact are the ones in the X. What are you going to tell them? You're going to give them your 30-second elevator speech, which includes your full name, company name, certification number, and what to do, all in 30 seconds. All of the advocates are trained either by me or my peers to assume that when that phone rings, it's going to be you giving them a 30-second elevator speech. It would go something like this. Good morning. My name is Wayne Gross. I'm with ABC Fence Company. I'm certified as a small business. My supplier ID number is 1752943. And I build fences, be it chain link, cement block, or wood. Can you help me? You notice it was short, sweet, and to the point. You notice that I slowed down when I gave my supplier ID number. And the reason is they're copying it, right? And hopefully they're putting in your profile and pulling up your certification profile. So I've given you a list. I've told you what to say. And now you need a capabilities statement. And so if you go to Google and type in capabilities, plural, statement examples, you will get a whole list of examples. This is all public access. Find one that meets your needs, okay? Now, this is an example. We have 3 requirements. Number 1, 1 page. It can be double-sided. Number 2, make sure you have your supplier ID number. And number 3, that you have your UNSPSC codes and the parent codes, which means it ends in 00, and the description. On this capability statement, you'll notice at the very top, he has said, I've got more than 1 capability, so it actually is a capabilities, plural statement. On the right side, he has his certifications, and he has more than 1 certification. But as you'll see on the first one, he has SB and then his supplier ID number for DGS California. He's got disadvantaged business enterprise, minority business enterprise. He's got all these different certifications. And then on the left side, he's got his parent codes for his UNSPSC codes with the code as well as the description. I tell people to do that because if you give it to me, I work with these codes all the time. I have a pretty good idea of what they are. But if you give it to Joe Blow over here, who started 2 weeks ago, he's not going to know what those numbers mean, but he will understand the descriptions, right? And you'll notice because in this example, they're federally certified, and so they use the NAICS code, the NAICS, North America Industry Classification System. And here again, they've got the codes as well as the description. Now, I'm going to offer my services for free, twofold. Number one, if you have never gotten your profile reviewed by me or your capability statement, you've got my email as well as my phone number, and we'll set up a time. It'll take about an hour of your time. And I promise you, I will change your life. I will give you opportunities you didn't even know were out there. So in review, we talked about the small business CBD program, how the state buys. We looked at solicitations, both current and past. We talked about the small business preference, the incentive, commercially useful function, the LPAs, dashboards, the common mistakes, and tips for success. I want to thank you. And here again, here's my information. And Jennifer, are there any questions?
The last questions I have was about where can you find the dashboard, but I already told Morgan about Cal eProcure website.
No, on that one, you go to dgs.ca.gov.
DGS.
And
Okay,
then
I did
in the
say
search
DGS
engine,
and then the Cal eProcure website.
No. You
There's
go
two,
to
I think.
you
Go
go to
ahead.
dgs.ca.gov. In the search engine, put in dashboard. And then the second result is the link. And then you'll pull all 6 of them.
Morgan, I hope you got both of them. So I know I sent you the DGS, and then the other site that we have that he went through was the Cal eProcure. So you got both websites. Yeah. Is there any other question? You're welcome. All right.
Anything else?
I'm waiting.
No?
No question.
Okay. Well, thank
So
you, everyone. I'm gonna
go ahead and Mr. Wayne, go ahead and undo your, there you go. So we can have everybody in here. All right. Let's just make sure. All right, everyone, I just wanted to do a last minute reminder. Again, if you want to go ahead and you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, I keep reminding everybody because we had a lot of webinars this year since March. I don't want you to miss any of them because Mr. Wayne did a 3-part series. This is the 3rd one. So if you've missed the first 2, which was done in March, and another one was, I believe, in May, please go to our YouTube channel, Ops for Vet, subscribes. You can see in there our past recordings. We also had one with small business services. We also had one with the VA. We had couple of them with another DGS members. So please, please, please go to our YouTube channel, subscribe so you can get future recordings as well. Another reminder is that I wanted to tell everybody, if you're new to this one today, and you haven't heard, November 16, go ahead, do a save the date for you. November 16, we are back. Moreno Valley is our 10th annual Veteran and Small Business Summit. So if you are not registered or certified, get certified. You have until November 16. Right now, write it down, November 16, we are gonna be live. You're gonna meet your procurement officers, federal, state, everybody is gonna be there. We're gonna help you. Mr. Albert Renteria is gonna help you record your elevator speech. We're gonna have everything online for you, okay? So get with us before then and we can record your, about your business, do an elevator speech like Mr. Wayne said. Have your business be out there at no cost to you, okay? Also, if you want to advertise your business, it's still available for you, okay? Go to Ops for Vet. All the information is out there for you. Contact us, drop your email on our chat line and I will send all your information. Again, thank you, Mr. Wayne, for having this class. If we have any more classes in the future before between now and November, we will also send you all the emails. Again, everyone, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for having skin in the game. Have a good day.
Sponsored by the ARC, Wild Apricot, Department of General Services, and the Metro Water District.